Where we will go. Where we will go.
Let's get to the Mower Show.
I should take a bigger breath.
There's a place where mowers mow, so we brace ourselves to go. Or does anybody know what of his Gwyneth Paltrow? Yo ho 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 ho, let's our boat go like we're pros. Procedures are as follows: ask Jollo's advice on switching the lamps, ho ho. At the old house of Mow, grass is cut really low, and it's said your deepest wish will come true. We've a long way to go, filled with danger.
Kill your family, kill your family, kill your family, kill your family, kill your
to and fro, but you only live once, which is to say YOLO. So it's on to the Mower Show. Pack your bags, sisters and bros, 'cause the series is going to last for a crazy long length of time. Was will mow at the show. Where we're going to go, it's known as the Mower Show. Was will mow at the show. Where we're going to go, it's known as the Mower Show.
Hello.
In our hearts we know, yes, one won't go there where we will go. The Show.
There is a place we're going, where the seaboat was blowing, 747 Boeing, I'm a go to the Mower Show. There is a place we're going, where the seaboat was going, 747 Boeing, I'm a go to the Mower Show. There is a place we're going, where the seaboat was going, 747 Boeing, I'm a go to the Mower Show. There is a place we're going, where the seaboat was going, 747 Boeing, I'm a go to the Mower Show. There is a place we're going, where the seaboat was going, 747 Boeing, I'm a go to the Mower Show. There is a place we're going, where the seaboat was going, 747 Boeing, I'm a go to the Mower Show. There is a place we're going, where the seaboat was going, 747
steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show. There's a place we're going. We will see pros and cons. 7 foot steps and bones. I want to do some Mower Show.
Kill your family! Sacrifice your friends and family has come a place to be. Sacrifice your friends and family has come a place to be. Sacrifice your friends and family has come a place to be. Sacrifice your friends and family has come a place to be. Comics.
there a candle in the street lamp? I mean, I know they didn't have smartphones and stuff like that in the 70s or whenever this was made, but I mean, I thought that they'd moved on slightly more since Victorian times, but I guess not. I thought they had electricity. Who'd be walking down the street with a giant pink cake? Why are those horses in love? As usual, my ignorance of the world coming through. Apparently in the 70s they did not have electricity in Britain. Only America, I guess. I don't know what nationality, what's his face was. Edison. Look at all the colours, man. But, that's how it was back then, I guess. That Scarecrow reminds me of someone. Oh, Charlie Chalk, that's it. Another character that nobody will know. Yeah, what am I thinking? Nobody's going to watch this. Nobody is going to understand. Nobody's going to get this. Nobody outside of Britain is going to understand, get this song. And nobody in Britain is going to get it either. Because when was the last time this blooming cartoon was aired? When was the last time Penny Crayon was on the TV? Not that I would know, but when? I think I maybe saw this once or something 20 years ago. It's strange how many of the ridiculous things I make videos for are based on stuff that I either have no attachment to whatsoever, or I saw it once. And, I don't know. I feel like most creatures care about things that they actually care about. But Mr. X just sort of... everything is fine. Everything is good to Mr. X, it seems. I don't get it. I'm even planning on singing I'm even planning on doing somebody plays their own game on blooming Madden 2016 or something like that, which is pretty much the last possible thing you'd expect Mr. X to be doing. But he's going to do it. Madden, the latest Madden, is going to get a half-hour ridiculous musical thing. And it's going to be fantastic. But you know what? I'm a bit concerned about that, actually, because when I tried to find footage of Madden's latest big, fat, grey-haired man simulator... No offence, Mr. Madden, or probably Sir Madden. No, wait, he won't be Sir. I think we discussed this already, this precise thing before. He's not going to be a Sir because he's not British, but whatever America does to people, I don't think they do anything, actually. I don't think America doesn't have any kind of title system. In Britain, people take quite a pride in being a lord or being a sir or being a... what else are there? Dames. You can become a duke or a earl. There's a billion different things. A billion completely meaningless, stripped of all context words you can put in front of your name these days. I mean, I don't see Alan Sugar going about shining armour, slashing away with swords at people. Or unless he's up, well, I mean, who knows? I don't know what he's getting up to. I haven't watched The Apprentice. But, I was trying to think of some ridiculously inappropriate person that's knighted that would never be doing that. But Alan Sugar is the only knight that I can think of, apparently. He's the only one I know exists. And they don't even call him that anymore. They call him Lord Sugar. I don't know what his American equivalent, Donald Trump, is. Just Mr. Trump. I can't imagine that a person like Donald Trump would accept being called Mr. Trump, which is possibly the singular reason why he decided to become the president, which he's no doubt going to be at some point in the future. But in a couple of months now, I'm not going to be able to make all these jokes about Donald Trump being the president, because he actually probably will be the president. Because if you weren't aware of this, pretty much every time I've ever mentioned Donald Trump being the president in anything here, I recorded it before the election where he's running for president. So this is all moot, unless I wait another 4 years to upload these videos, so you can have a second term election, which he'll also inevitably win. I don't actually think Donald Trump's going to be the president. It's a joke, but I'm not saying. I mean, he might. I don't just assume as a matter of obvious course that that's going to happen. I've no idea. I just try to avoid anything whatsoever to do with politics. So I have no idea what Donald Trump's latest thing is, or what the polls are, what the election polls are that they're going to be blustering about every single day up until like the week before the election, when they inevitably just completely swing out of completely, just become completely different from what they were before, and just completely nullifying the entire point of the raving about these polls in the first place, which is what always happens. Well, I don't actually know that, but I feel like it is. The Scottish referendum that happened a while ago, the polls were saying, "Oh, everyone's going to vote for Scotland not to leave the UK," and that was that. And then 5 days before the referendum itself, suddenly it just completely spikes. That just completely and utterly changes, and suddenly they don't know anymore. I don't know why this happens. I really don't. I've heard people lie deliberately in polls, apparently. That may be the reason. I don't know. I don't know why they do this sort of stuff. I don't know why people stay up late at night till 5 a.m. in the morning or whenever it is to find out which one of the colours on the screen won. Why the political... Are we going to get started? Are we stooping to this level now? Is Mr. X going to spend half an hour ranting about politics because he could? Don't think for 1 second he can't. Even Mr. X is not capable. Even Mr. X has, in such a typically opinionated subject as politics, Mr. X has no opinions, but he's able to rant about it.
My favorite songs are the ones you can sing along with. I love singing. All you have to do is take a cup of flour and add it to the mix. Now just drink a little something sweet and sour, a bit of salt, just a pinch. Sweet, does it reach out and get turned up and fill out. Add a little more because before you ever get your fill out. It's the spirit, it's something, don't be too late, it's something.
Yeah, why do parties need colours? Why do they need to have a colour to represent them, as if it means something? And why does there have to be a single person that's the head of the party? And what's the point of having a party in the first place, if such a thing is the case? If you've ever seen British politics, it's not half a terrible thing. If you ever watch, maybe it's the same in America too, but if you look at the British Parliament, as they call it, I don't even think they call it. Do they call it a parliament in America? A parliament, basically, it's the place where all the it's the building in England where all the politicians, all the politicians sit on green chairs in such a manner that both of the main parties, because they haven't even made any attempt to pretend that there aren't just basically two parties in Britain. Apparently, they're just sort of, what would you say, the structure of the House of Commons, as it's called, just is a visual testament to the truth. Where both of the rows of there's two sets of these chairs, both what's that word? Diametrically opposite each other. There's the Conservatives sit on the one side. I don't know which. I don't know if they've got a consistent side. I'd assume so. But the Conservatives sit on the one side, and the Labour sits on the other one, and it's just so blatantly antagonising that it's just the whole point is the two things are opposed to each other, and they don't have screaming jeer like schoolboys. It's unbelievable. You feel like you're watching a rugby game, a football game or something, watching these twerps bickering with each other, slinging their Oscar Wilde witticisms, and trying to look smart and powerful, and beating their chests and slathering blood all over themselves and whatever else, alpha male sort of stuff. I just no time for any of that whatsoever. Won't catch Mr. X watching these things. I don't get it. Why do these... I'm guessing that it's a hundreds of years old tradition. I'm guessing the British Parliament has always been a bunch of little 8-year-olds going... Yeah, and then standing up and sitting down immediately after for no apparent reason and stuff like that, laughing their heads off when the alpha male leader says something about the opponent's hair or whatever. the whole world makes no sense to Mr. X, but politics especially. You'd think that for such a profoundly important thing as the mechanism that, for all intents and purposes, governs to a tremendously significant extent the lives of human beings in the planet, you'd think these Berks could work together a bit better or something. Why do we have a party system in the first place? Why can't all the politicians just work together? Why? I don't get it. Why do we have to have clearly defined factions? Why does everything humans do, from capitalism to government to blooming YouTube poops and everything else, to blooming Let's Playing Something Awful versus everyone that isn't a member of Something Awful and all that sort of stuff? Why do humans have to tribalize themselves in everything they do? Every single thing. Instead of actually being nice to each other and dare I say, perhaps working together despite their differences. It feels like, I don't know, feels like there's no place in the world for Mr. X sometimes. His twee, naive child morals that it just refuses to let go of because they're quite clearly infinitely more correct than anything that he's been accosted with since he turned 18. Nobody shares them. I just if the parties with their different political stances, or whatever, could work together to achieve things, as impossible as it might sound, that is the way it should be done. Seems to me, but it's not the way it's done. Although I guess the point is that the public vote to say who they want to be running the country in the first place. But that doesn't mean they need to have, a block of people and a block of other people that all are banding against each other. Like, if people voted for individuals or something like that, and then you just got a bunch of people that everyone voted for in there that don't represent some abstract organisation of a collective of things. Because I don't really see how a party, as they call them, can single-handedly represent the will of a half of the country. I don't really see it. It seems like there's something else to be going on there. If they want to represent people's will, well, listen to me. I don't have a. As if everyone on the planet hasn't made these equally armchair rants with no grounding whatsoever in how the world works. But it's the people that do these sorts of things that don't care about how the world works that actually make the world work. It seems to be. Or would make it work if the world bothered its backside to change, which it doesn't. Well, there you go. At some political discussions in Penny Crayon. If Tay-Zonday was indeed listening to this, with his chocolate rain, which I still don't understand what on earth the lyrics even mean. Why was that? Why was that so famous? Huh? No offense to Mr. Zonday or Sir Zonday or whatever, but President Zonday. But why was that song so famous exactly? Very spiky song, spiky, and that's just that. That was it. All I sang, what I sang there was almost all of it. It just repeats that, and that's the whole song. I think it was playing on his little Casio LV54 keyboard from the 80s or something. I'll tell you what, Mr. X doesn't bother himself to take two asterisks, take 2 steps away from the mic before he breathes in. This microphone that I've got sitting here on my desk, the thing's too powerful for me to do that. This stupid microphone picks up the buzzing noise that my PC desktop computer, my mainframe computer, which I've still got, picks up the buzzing noise that thing makes. And every time I record anything, I have to go into this to Audacity, if assuming it didn't crash when I pressed the stop button, which is equally a possible outcome. But if it gets past that, then I got to use the noise remover thing. Thank goodness Audacity has that. You select 5 seconds or roundabouts of silence in the recording you just made, and then make Audacity remove that from everything, and it does it. It does a good job of it too. It takes out the sound. But Donald Trump is a man, and his opponent candidate is a woman, Hillary Clinton, who is not backing down to become the president. And of course now Britain's got its second female president since Margaret Thatcher. It's weird how Britain's getting all these female presidents and America's not, because America's again inevitably going to have Donald Trump and not Hillary Clinton. Oh. But I don't know what the polls. Don't know what Donald Trump's put his foot in now. I think he said something about how Mexico was going to build a giant Hadrian's Wall remake, and they would pay for it themselves. And apparently his justification for this assertion is that he wants them to do that. So, well, that's an honest thing, I suppose, but I'm not entirely sure that Mexico's going to pay for that because he asked them to. But, maybe if he does it politely enough, then they might. I don't know. See what comes of that.